Yeah, bro. Your time's coming soon. It ain't gonna be like this forever. It's not always gonna be, downfalls of rain, walking with a cloud over your head, bad people around you, bad emotions, depression, anxiety. It ain't always gonna be there, bro. Your time's coming soon. It's gonna come sooner or later. It's as long as you keep grinding, it's gonna come soon. What's up, y'all? It's Shannon, and today we're gonna set the standard. You know, we always love to think so negative on ourselves. We portray ourselves in a negative light. For me, there's times where I see myself as less than. I'm very confident in myself, but sometimes that old anxiety, that old, thought that I'm less than sometimes creeps back in. From when I was younger, I'd be, oh man, I'm not as good as him. He can do that better than me. He can hoop better than me. And that stems from certain things that happened when I was younger. When I was on travel basketball teams and stuff like this, coach would put in the players that were not as good as me and let them get more playing time. And this threw me off. And the only reason they was getting more playing time is because their parents are paying more. Their parents are helping out the fundraisers more, all this stuff. And in reality, they're not even as good as me. I was hooping, bro. I was hooping. I was doing very good for my age. I probably could have went to college for basketball if I kept doing it throughout high school and middle school and all that, but I didn't. So, that stemmed from stuff like that helped, form those anxieties and those thought processes in myself. And I would be like unsure for myself. I would be anxious about, my actual capabilities. But growing up and learning and getting that confidence in yourself and that structure to yourself, you start feeling a little bit better about yourself. You got that oomph now. You're starting to get better, and that is me now. I understand that those things happened in the past. I understand that I fell short in the past. I understand that, sometimes people counted me out in the past. Sometimes jobs, counted me out. Sometimes I didn't get the raise I wanted. Sometimes I didn't get the treatment I wanted. Sometimes my business didn't go the way I wanted it. Sometimes friends didn't treat me the way I wanted. Sometimes girls left me out. Sometimes, the friend groups that I was in left me out, but I know that I'm going to prevail. That's that confidence that you got to have, bro. You got to know that you're going to prevail. You can't just sit around all woe is me all the time wondering like, oh, am I good enough? You get in a relationship, you're wondering, oh, am I good enough? What is that, man? What is that? Do you think the girl is going to enjoy that? Do you think the girl's going to like get your scent and get your smell and see you and be like, I just love him. I'm just falling right in front of him. He's all mine. No, she's going to sense that, bro. She's going to be like, he ain't even confident in himself. How can he be confident in a relationship? So that goes for everything, bro. Don't go into nothing feeling like you're less than. Don't go into things feeling like you weren't capable of. Don't go into things worrying if you're, you got you feel like you're an imposter. That's what it is, imposter syndrome. Don't go into things feeling like that. Walk into the room as if you're the man. Walk into these business meetings as if you're the man. And it don't even got to be as big as that. It can be, walking into a job interview, walking up to a date, asking a girl out, going up to the sales counter in a store, whatever it is, bro. Don't be so focused on being, the worst you can be, or acting like you ain't supposed to be in the room, or acting like somebody there is better than you. You got to be the best candidate, bro. You got to be the best one that they could choose. If you're working at damn Walmart, you got to be the best cashier that they can choose. Don't be so, oh, this job ain't worth it. This job's only paying me $13, $14 an hour. I'm not even going to try to be the best candidate. Excuse me. I'm not even going to try to be the best candidate. I'm not even going to try to, actually be, the best. I'm just going to walk in here all lazy, bad outfit, bad breath, bad attitude, acting like I don't care. Walk into that stuff being confident, bro. Come on now. You ain't going to get nowhere with that attitude, bro. You're not going to get anywhere with that attitude. Walk into everything with some confidence. Walk into everything with some integrity. Walk into everything with some, spine and some backbone to yourself. And once you do that, that's really going to, open up a fire, a wildfire of flames inside of you to really grow and be the best that you can be. But every single time that you walk into something with a little less confidence, every single time that you walk into something feeling like you ain't supposed to be there, it's going to break you down a little bit. Let me fix y'all a little bit. Let me fix y'all. There we go. It's going to break you down a little bit. we don't want to feel broken down. And I know that it's so hard. It's easier said than done. But we got to understand that you got to start living things out. We can't keep saying it's easier said than done. We need to start working on the things so that it can be easier done than said. You feel me? So stop going into things like that. Like I said, man, because every single time that you do that, it's going to break you down. Every single time that I walked into something feeling like I shouldn't be there, it threw the whole vibe off. I didn't get the job. I didn't get the business opportunity. I didn't get the sale. When I was doing door-to-door sales for my landscaping business, every single time I walked into it, like, oh, you know, I'm a little bit black. They're not gonna sell to me. I'm a little bit light skinned, you know, I'm brown skinned. They're not gonna sell to me. They're only gonna sell to white people. Every single time I did that to myself, that messed me up. Every single time I walked up and I was like, oh man, I'm not established as every other business in the city. You know, some businesses got, you know, insurance, some businesses are registered, and I'm not even insured. I'm the youngest in the city doing it. I don't even, you know, I'm not the best one, but I'm good at it. You know, I walked into it feeling like that. I'm not going to get the sale. I'm not going to get the customer. I'm not going to be able to do the landscaping or the mowing job for him if I'm walking into it feeling like that. But if I walked up to that porch, knocked on the door with some confidence, knocked on the door with some backbone, and I was like, listen, I'm a young man. I have a landscaping business in the area. I want to mow your yard. I want to do your bushes because I see that there's a little bit of an issue going on. There's a little bit of an overgrown, bush over here and everything. And I really, sold it. I really told them as if I had some confidence in myself, they would feel a little bit better. Every single time I did that, I'm pretty sure I got the sale. There's some anomalies out there where it didn't work out because people didn't need it. But every single time I had that backbone and stuff, people just respected it more. I can say that about 100% of the time. Stop living with this lifestyle where you just can't be confident. I know today's society tells us to, settle down, simmer down. Don't be so, so broad and so masculine and so, outgoing and stuff. But bro, have some backbone to yourself. You don't gotta be so introverted all the time. Man, I'm an introvert to the heart. I've always been shy since I was a kid. But ever since I understood that no opportunity is gonna come, ever since I understood people are gonna respect me, ever since I understood that it's just so much more enjoyable to just get out of that shell and not having to party and do all this stuff, but going out and just as simple as walking into the store and starting a conversation, walking into the store and being confident with the cashier, walking into the store and being confident with the sale that I'm doing or the purchase that I'm making or whatever it is. It just makes life so much better. You're a more respected individual. You are seen as a leader. Every single time in school when I took up a project and, my other classmates weren't working as hard as me and I just, guess what? Hey, y'all, I'm gonna take this up. Let's start doing this right now. You see this, this paper that we're working on. Let's focus on that one later. Let's focus on this one right now because this one's more important. Every single time I did that, that was a little bit more respect made for me. The teacher would be like, oh, he's a leader. But every single time I crowded up into the corner and put my head down and put my hood on and all this shit, it didn't push me forward. I was looked over and all that stuff. So if you want to be seen, if you want to be recognized, if you want to be, someone of some stature, start being confident in yourself, man. And I know it stems from a lot of, insecurities. I know it stems from traumas. I know it does. But you got to let go of that because that's never going to change. That's in the past. I just made a video about the past. You can't be so focused on looking at the past that the present and the future is being messed up because of that. That doesn't make any sense. That's why all these people who ruin their lives or have messed up problems have that problem. It's because they're looking at the past. They're like, oh, I'm a felon. I can't get no jobs. I'm going to just keep stealing. I'm going to keep killing. I'm going to keep robbing. Oh, I'm a black guy. I can't get the business job. So I'm going to start selling drugs. I'm black, so I can't get, the plumbing or the construction position. I'm going to just, I'm going to sell drugs. I'm going to sell dope and I'm going to make it that way. I'm a young man in the streets of Chicago. I can't be, a real estate investor, bro. Ain't nobody in my family a real estate investor. I'm going to be a scammer. And that all stems from that trauma and insecurity. You got to be secure in yourself, man. And once you start doing this, this is when it's going to breed a different you. This is when it's the new you is going to form and everybody's going to be like, who is that? And I don't even recognize him no more. He's different now. So believe in yourself, bro. Be open with that. Be broad with it. Walk like you got some backbone, man. When you say something, stand on it. Don't say something and then limbo and fucking don't do all that, man. That's lame. Stand on it. I know we can't be perfect, but stand on things, bro. So to end off this video, man, you know, I encourage y'all to just start working on yourselves, being confident and really believing in the things you got going on. If you got a business, if you got a channel, if you got something going on, believe in it. Even if this video gets 0 views, I still want maybe the one person that ends up seeing it to believe in himself and to move forward in his life. I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next video.